In a week's time, most of the lockdown will be off. Not in Tamil Nadu, not in Maharashtra, not in Mumbai, Chennai, maybe not in Delhi. Well, the number of people infected and the unfortunate number of the fatalities also going up almost everywhere. But there are economic concerns that individual people, society, nation and the world has to take care of. So we have to open up and do things. And also, if you were not very competent with what you're doing, you may just completely forget how to do it if you give you such a long break. And one day it happened, as usual, Shankaran Pillai was complaining about, most people think their boss is stupid. So Shankaran Pillai was complaining how stupid his boss is. Then the wife said, if he was smarter than what he is, you would have lost your job long time ago. So, there are many aspects to life, it has to get back, no matter what consequence, unfortunately. The consequence may not be pleasant for everybody, but inevitably the world has to open up. I think India is opening up judiciously. Fortunately, the high infection areas are limited just to probably some 20 districts in the whole country. Of over 700 districts, only 20 districts are seriously a challenge. So they're cordoning off those districts. Well, the lockdown being released is on one level a psychological release for people, but in terms of economy it can't really burst forth because interstate travel is restricted, inter-district movement is restricted. Goods can move but people cannot move. With all this, I think it's a judicious way of doing it. Simply wildly opening it up could be crazy. It is nice, at least in India, it is not happening because of people's compulsions. I want to have a haircut, I want to have a drink, so I'm going out. No, I don't care what happens to somebody. That is not the way it is happening. With… to whatever extent we can act responsibly and open it up, to that extent it's happening, it's nice. Well, United States has hit over 100,000, 105,000, and UK is rapidly trying to catch up. For a small country, a small island, I'm sorry, we shouldn't say it, a great island like that, I think they've crossed 40,000, am I right? 40,000? Something like that, near that number. Next only to United States. But South America is catching up big time, irresponsibly. Certain things were done and now they're paying the price. A huge number of fatalities in Brazil and other countries also may catch up. So, in that sense, I would say largely most of the Asian countries have done better than the European nations and the two Americas. Canada, I think, is in control because always there is social distancing out there, I think. It's a big country with small number of people. So, at times like this, where you're walking a certain line, in a way, not knowing what is tomorrow's situation. I must repeat this, that we still don't know what is this virus, what it can do. We know a few things, but we don't know all of it. So, for those of you who do not know what is a virus, it is not even a full-fledged life, it's just a bunch of chemicals with certain genetic material in it. It is not like a creature that it can eat, thrive, reproduce, no. It is just a chemical reaction of certain kind with a little genetic substance. It is half a life. Handling half a life is a little difficult. If it was a full life, we could find out what it is. It is a half a life. So, we have not really figured much about it. There is no clear one scientific voice which says, this is the nature of this virus, this is what it will do, and this is what we can do to it. There is no such voice yet. I don't know how long it'll take. Looking back at the history of virus attacks, major attacks that have happened in the past, well, normally what we are always looking at for reference is the 1918 Spanish flu and somewhere in 1800s another one, and plague and stuff like that. The pandemics, which were not all caused by similar kind of life forms, they were different, but looking at that, even then we did not figure what it is. But somehow after a period of time they died down by themselves or they learned to live with us. Many people who are fighting, after some time learn to live with each other, you know. Just like that, the virus may learn to live with us without causing too much harm to us. A whole lot of people are living with people, not necessarily out of love, but simply because they're not causing too much harm. It's okay. So virus also may become like that, it doesn't cause too much harm. In India, the recovery rate is over 47%, I think, which is probably the highest in the world. Actually, it could be much higher because the number of people tested, among them it's 47. There could be equal number of people who are not tested or more number of people who are not tested, they're just recovering without even going to the doctor. So, our recovery rate is extremely good. Because of that, this easing of the lockdown, a calibrated easing of the lockdown may work pretty well, except in a few cities where the concentration of population is such, and also in many of the cities, the level of pollution and whatever else, their lifestyles and stuff, their immune systems may not be the same as that in smaller towns and in villages and in the yoga center, of course. So, we may come out of this pretty well. I have a gut feeling by mid-September, we will be almost in the normal economic activity in this country. Can't say the same thing about many other nations. But it's just a feeling. I don't have any data to support that feeling. No data is supporting that. But somehow I have a strong feeling by mid-September, things should be almost normal in terms of activity in the country. But without the world getting normal, the country may not get fully normalized because international travel and international import-export of goods, all these things need to happen, otherwise there is no absolute normalcy. But still, in terms of our movement, by September we must be 100% okay in this country, this is my feeling. As I said, there is no any data supporting me right now. Hope that data turns up in the next few weeks.